Hello everyone, welcome to switispeaks official YouTube channel. This is resume building series where we are learning how to create resume for different scenarios, and we are going to create a resume which is crisp, clear, doesn't look too cluttered, is one page professional resume format. It should look neat and clean, still cover all the relevant information. In short, the resume is very crisp and clear and has a great chance of getting shortlisted. We had already covered few other resume formats in the previous lectures if you go through the series, which is resume building series uploaded on Sweetie Speaks official YouTube channel. Some more resume formats were already discussed. Today we are going to cover a resume format for a candidate who has completed masters in VLSI design and now they are looking for a job opportunity in VLSI domain. As usual, we will go through each and every section of the resume and understand how these sections are created, and we will discuss how to keep the resume relevant. Let's get started. The first section is at the top, which should contain your full name and the contact details. If you see, the full name of the candidate is always at the top, and we keep it little big and in bold. Next section will come the contact information. At least four things should come in your contact. Location, just the city is enough. Your contact number, if you have alternate contact number, you can specify that too. Your email, this email should be the one which you are regularly checking, because if you get an email, you should not miss it. And your LinkedIn profile link. Why we keep the LinkedIn profile link? Because in the resume we have very limited space. We have to cover all the relevant information in one page. It is possible that you have some more relevant projects. You have done 5 projects, but here we are just keeping the top 3. Rest 2 maybe you can keep in your LinkedIn profile. If you have done some certification, say even from NPTEL or something, you can keep it in your LinkedIn profile. Your LinkedIn profile can be more detailed, because there is no space limitation. Here we have. And always the recruiters, before shortlisting, usually they really go through your LinkedIn profile and check. That's why please make sure the link which you are specifying in the resume is working. If I click to that link, it should take me to your LinkedIn profile. Please ensure that this is happening. Now we have covered the top section, which is the name of the candidate and contact information. Next comes the career objective. What information career objective should have? Say if you are a fresher, it should contain at least these 3 details. First is what is your degree, whether you are graduate or postgraduate. Then second is what skill sets you have, and third is what kind of opportunities you are looking for. If you are an experienced candidate, it should cover how many years of industry experience you have, in which domain, and what kind of job opportunities you are looking for. This is resume for a postgraduate. So, 3 important information is covered in the career objective. First is the person is postgraduate. Second important information is the skill sets which they have, which is the VLSI design and verification related skills. And the next will be the kind of opportunities they are looking for. They are looking for entry level positions in IC design. IC design, VLSI design, it's all the same. Then the next will come education. Since this person is a complete fresher, they don't have any internship experience, they don't have any industry experience. That's why education should come at the top. I had covered one another resume format in which the candidate had 3+ years of experience. There I had kept education towards the end, because once you have 3+ years of industry experience, education doesn't play a lot of role in getting your resume shortlisted. Your work experience does. That's why depending on the scenario, we decide which section should come first, which section should come next. Here, education has come. Now, since the person is already masters, we will cover only two things. One is the master's degree and bachelor's degree. If the person was bachelor, we would have covered bachelor's degree, HSC and SSC. Here, if you see, we are covering the master's and bachelor's degree. Four important things to cover in education. One is your degree, like what degree you have in which specialization, that is first point. From which college or university, when did you complete the degree, and your percentage of CGPA. These are four important information which should come. Here, if you see, we are trying to cover all this information in minimum number of space, and we are maintaining the proper spacing so that it doesn't look cluttered. Here, if you see, the person has MTech degree in which domain? In VLSI design. From which college? NIT Calicut. The degree was completed in June 2024 and the CGPA was 7.7. Then the person has done BTech in which domain? In electrical from KJ Somaiya College. Degree was obtained in June 2020 and CGPA was 8.3. Next very important thing which should come is your skills. As you know, I like to organize the skills in various sections. Here we have covered 5 different sections: design, verification, tools, other languages, and OS. You should arrange these skills in the order of importance. The person has strong skills in VLSI design and verification. So design and verification are the topmost selling point in your resume. That's why design and verification will come at the top. Then tools will come. The next selling point, other languages which are an add-on, and the OS which you have worked will come last, depending on the order of importance. In design, the person has covered 5 important skills: digital design. Then we have used a separator like this, and then covered the next skill, computer architecture, separator. Then VLSI design, CMOS concepts. The person is very strong, so they have mentioned, and optimization technique. One thing you should always keep in mind: whenever you put whatever skill you put in resume, you should have strong hold on that, because when you go for interview, people have your resume as the reference. Whatever you mentioned in your resume, mostly the questions come from there only. So if you have mentioned CMOS, you should really know the CMOS concept in detail. If you mentioned optimization technique, you should know those optimization technique, because you will be questioned on that. So whatever you are putting, of course you should put the required skill sets, because all these are important things. At least digital design, computer architecture, VLSI design, these are very basic design skill sets for a candidate with master's degree in VLSI. Of course you should put this, but you should also revise. In case you forgot the concepts, you should revise it before the interview so that you are able to answer the questions. The next section the candidate has kept is verification, in which they have covered Verilog, System Verilog, UVM. And since the person has done the project on I2C protocol, they know about it and hence they have written. Next thing is the tools. The candidate had access to Model Sim and Questa Sim in college, using which they have done the projects. That's why they mentioned it in the tools section. And they have done some practice on EDA Playground, which is a free practice platform which anyone can use. Everyone has access to it. So they have mentioned that also. Then in other languages, usually C, C++, all of us know. This person has very strong hold on C++, so they have written it. And I always recommend you should know at least one scripting language. It is required. This person has learned Python and they have put it in their resume. Next thing, the person has worked on Windows, Linux, Unix operating system, which they have mentioned in the skill set. The next important section is projects. I always recommend, if you are a fresher, you should at least have 3 relevant projects which will make your resume stand out. And all these projects should be relevant to the domain for which you are applying. and they should add good value to your resume. Now let's understand the project which the candidate has done. They have done three different projects. The first project was related to a protocol, I2C protocol, and the candidate has also mentioned the skill set which they have done while doing the project. Whichever skill sets they have learned, they have mentioned it: system verilog, UVM, and the tool which they have used here was questasim. And they have mentioned the duration for which they have worked on the project. What they have done, there was a team who had designed the I2C protocol. There was a separate team who had designed I2C protocol. The candidate got the I2C protocol design from them, and then they have built a UVM test bench from scratch, coded the test cases, and then they also identified some bugs in the design and they reported it to the designers. Then they got the design fixed and repeated the verification till the design was bug free. And the good thing is they also did code coverage and they achieved 97%. It is a good number. So they have mentioned 97% code coverage. Then they have done a project on low power. Low power is one of the optimization techniques. Low power of 8-bit full adder. Okay, so all this important information is covered in title. On what block they have done the low power verification, full adder. How many bits it was? 8-bit. What they have done? Low power design. See, the title is also very crisp and clear. It is easily understandable. If you see in the complete resume, I always use easy language. I never try to use complicated words. Please make a note: adding complicated English words will not help your resume get shortlisted. I like to keep it simple and easily understandable. What will sell your resume is your skill sets, the kind of projects you have done. This complicated English words are not going to sell your projects. So better focus on improving your skill sets, keep your resume simple and relevant. So in low power verification, whatever skill sets they have learned while doing this project, system verilog, UVM, power optimization, they have mentioned the duration for which they have done the project, and what did they achieve? They had designed the 8-bit full adder with power optimization techniques. How much power optimization did they achieve? The design consumed 20% less power compared to whatever design they started from. They reduced the power consumption by 20%. How did they reduce the power consumption? You need to utilize some power optimization techniques. What kind of power optimization techniques the candidate has used? Clock gating and some efficient logic design. Now, if the interviewer sees this, they can ask you, can you explain what is clock gating? What kind of clock gating have you done? What kind of efficient logic design have you done? You should be able to answer all these questions. The third project is RTL Design and Verification of 1 by 3 router. The skill set which the candidate has learned is System Verilog, UVM and Model Sim. They have mentioned the duration of the project, and then what did they do? They designed a 1 cross 3 router that can accept the data packets on a single 8-bit port and route them to one of the three channels. There were three channels: channel 1, channel 2, channel 0, channel 1, channel 2. The router will accept the data packets on. For accepting the data packets, there is a single 8-bit port, but for routing, it can be one of the three channels. And then they have also done the functional and code coverage for this. The functional coverage they have achieved 85% and the code coverage 91%. Now here the interviewer can ask you, why only 85%? What were the things you were not able to cover and what was the reason you were not able to cover? You should be able to answer that. And why just 91% code? Why not 100%? What was the reason? All these questions you should be able to answer. Then in achievements, the candidate had given gate exam. They had given the gate exam in 2020. when they were completing the bachelor's, in order to get into the master's, they have done the gate exam and they have qualified with AIR 57, which they have mentioned here. So since this is a very good achievement, candidate has put it in the resume. Now one question can come, why was there so much gap between BTech and MTech? Like, why did the candidate take the gap? So the candidate had some personal reasons. You should tell whatever reasons, maybe your health issues, or maybe there was some problem in your family due to which you had taken a break. That is fine, but that question may come, which you should be able to clarify. Anyways, the candidate has very good skill sets. They have completed MTech, and that question can come, but if it comes, just answer it properly, and it will not stop you from getting shortlisted. If you are able to answer the questions related to all these projects, you really have the skill sets which you are mentioning, it will not stop you from getting the job. I hope this resume gave you an idea of how to create a good quality resume which has capability of getting shortlisted. We are doing very good quality projects. We are mentioning all the right skill sets. And if you go to the LinkedIn profile, it will also be properly updated. Please take this resume as the reference and try to create your own resume. I hope these lectures are really helping you. We have a lot to cover in the upcoming sections. We will cover all the skill sets in VLSI. We will cover a lot more how to do networking, and I'll answer all your questions. If you have any questions, especially related to resume, since this is a resume building series, please post it in the comments and I will pick your questions and try to answer it in the upcoming sessions. To stay tuned to such quality content, please subscribe to Sweetie Speaks official YouTube channel. I'll see you in the next lecture. Thank you.